Come on in to Sister's Tarot. Gather round, everyone. I have here my trusty magic 8-ball. Let's take a look inside, see what it has to show us today. Hello, Taurus. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising Venus, and North Node in Taurus. Take what resonates and leave out the rest. If you don't resonate with the reading, feel free to check out my other videos. You may have some messages there. No further ado, let's start the reading. Okay, we're going to get started now. And just in case you're wondering, because you're not used to readers reading the North Node, I was guided to read on the North Node, and I like to make sure that I listen to my intuition. And we tend to underestimate our North Node anyway, because that is our true destiny. So that's why I'm reading on the North Node as well. I hope you had a good week and everything's gone great for you, and you had a great Christmas for those of you that celebrate Christmas and all. Everything's been going well for you. We have Ace of Cups, the Star, Two of Swords, and the Lovers. At the bottom of the deck we have the Emperor. Okay, we're going to start with the Ace of Cups. I'm getting that you're going to have abundance and prosperity overflowing, blessings just overflowing, especially in the spiritual sense. But with these green and yellow goldfish, because some of those goldfish look green, I'm also getting possibly money mixed in with that as well, or wealth of some sort. And it's just going to be overflowing with abundance and prosperity. And then we have the Star. So I'm picking up that you are some form of a healer, and that you're able to not only heal yourself in certain ways, but other people. And with these stars all around in this picture, I'm also getting that you shine brightly out into the world as you do so. And I'm getting your like a fresh take on, there's a fresh take to you. People find you refreshing. And that you're very nurturing as well. and very attentive. And I'm also picking up someone could have a green thumb. So you're also well at possibly gardening, whether it's flowers or just any type of gardening, even if it's a vegetable garden, etc. And you do well at that. And for some of you, maybe that's something you should consider because you would do well at that. And then we have the Two of Swords. So there is something that you're trying to decide on that you're not sure about. And I'm picking up that you should not lean too much on your physical eyes and physically looking into things. Use your instincts and your intuition and lean on your faith to make this right decision. And I'm also picking up with this moon here. Maybe there's a possible situation that happened in this recent full moon that got you in your emotions is what I'm picking up. And because of it, it kind of left you a little bit, not only melancholy, but I'm picking up making it harder for you to make a decision because you didn't want to make a rash decision, irrational decision based off your emotions. So you're taking time to reflect at this time too, is what I'm picking up, and that's a good thing. So that way you can make sure you make that right decision, especially when you have the Lovers following that. I'm picking up this is a love situation. So maybe your emotions got mixed up in a love situation and you weren't sure if you were making it based off your emotions or your logic, and you're trying to decide if this is a real feeling that you have. And I'm feeling called to take a clarification on the Lovers to get more insight, so I'm going to do that. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. So with that being underneath the Lovers, you felt left out in the cold in a love situation. So that's where your emotions got involved. So now you're needing to go inward and make sure that this is something that's really meant for you. Because if you felt left out in the cold, then there's something that's not right about this situation possibly. But make sure that you go inward and use your own discernment, especially when you have the Emperor here. So this could represent the Emperor or the Empress. So I'm picking up with this being all coming together, whether because you're being left out in the cold, whether this situation gets fixed or not. With these other cards, there is the right counterpart coming in, whether it's with this person or not. And I'm going to go ahead and get one more card on the clarification for this Five of Pentacles and get an advice card to help you with this decision making. But use your own discernment still, obviously. That just flipped, so I'm not taking that. That just kind of just flipped over there. Isn't exactly. Okay, now I'll take that one. Okay, so yes, inner reflection is definitely needed. So go into either meditation or deep contemplation and really go deep within yourself and listen to your intuition and your guidance. You can ask God or your spiritual team to help you in this situation, to help you make the right decision and what is best for you. So that way you know you're making the right decision in this situation. But either way, I'm picking up that if it's not this person, someone is in your near future of being your right counterpart. So even if this doesn't work out, it's not something for you to be too upset about, because regardless, you're going to have your right counterpart come in, whether it's this person that you've already been connected to that had you all in your emotions or not. So I'm going to see what I'm getting overall before I move on to the Oracle. I'm picking up, give the nourishment more to yourself and love yourself more at this time. So don't even concern yourself with this right now is what I'm picking up. As you're going inward to reflect, pour that cup a love into yourself and replenish yourself from, especially what I was picking up on this card here with the emotions and feeling melancholy, and really work on healing yourself from this situation and love yourself. Learn to unconditionally love yourself if you haven't already, because until you truly love yourself, you're not going to be able to love someone else the way you need to, much less attract the love you truly deserve. Never accept love that's less than what you deserve. Of course, that's your choice, but I mean, that's just the advice. Don't accept less than you deserve, especially when you have this coming up. So I'm also picking up with this too, because this card the Lover's card can also be a decision between two decisions to make. So whether you're connected with two different people already and trying to make up your mind, know this, that you need to make a decision if you need to cut this other person off so you can leave yourself open to a new possibility of someone else, because regardless, you're going to have your true counterpart. But at the end of the day, you have to make that decision. What is best for you and what is going to be good for you. And not meaning that in a selfish way, because of course you have to think about the other person too, but they're not treating you fairly or the way you deserve. Is that really the love you want or need or deserve? I mean, do you want to accept less than you deserve, or leave yourself open for something you do deserve? And since you felt left out in the cold, either something is not for you, or something needs to be addressed and figured out why you felt left out in the cold. Maybe this person left you out in the cold because this person's not interested in you, and you need to reflect on that to see if that's the possibility, and not to try to force something to happen, because what is meant for you will be for you. You don't have to force it. It'll just naturally flow and come together naturally. So just really take out the time for yourself, and take some time to reflect on this, if this is really the right person for you that you're connected to that made you feel this way. Or do you want to just let this go and then work on yourself to allow yourself to be open to attract more of what you deserve? Treating yourself the way you want to be treated will attract the person that you do deserve. So you have to see for yourself what you deserve first. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Oracle now. Hold on, I have smudges on here. Okay. But again, that's your choice to make, obviously. And use your own discernment and intuition and pray about it, or meditate, and or we have love yourself as much as you want your soulmate to love you. Exactly what I just said. So that resonates. I mean, not resonates. Resonates. That's not what I meant to say. That, apparently I said that for a reason. So maybe this resonated with someone, and this was not just a clarifier to clarify what I just said, but it resonates with someone, obviously. So we're going to now take the next card. And with this being underneath the Ace of Cups, this is also more confirmation of giving yourself, this retrograde, I swear, give yourself that Ace of Cups before giving it to someone else. So that way you have more. Because the more you have to give to yourself, the more you have to give to others. Because if your cup empties out, then you have no more to give. So you have to always keep your cup filled up and never let it run dry, because if it runs dry, it doesn't do anyone any good, you or anyone else. So always replenish your cup first. Not meaning that in a selfish way. It means, because if you don't have anything to give, how are you going to give anyway? You have to take care and nurture yourself. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. You know, you can be selfless and still care about yourself. You do still matter, and there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. So just keep that in mind. I'm feeling strongly to talk on that, because I feel like someone needs to hear that, because maybe someone's feeling like that's selfish of them to even try to think about putting themselves first. But if someone, let's say if someone left you out in the cold, Stop trying to make something happen to have them love you. Love yourself. For the love that you're looking for, seeking, seek that first in yourself, and everything else will naturally flow. So if you're constantly trying to pull somebody into loving you, if they left you out in the cold, or trying to get them to come to you in some way, all that's going to do is repel them more away, not bring them in more. That's just going to push them away farther and farther. So you have to let go. Even if you don't want to, like, letting go doesn't always necessarily mean that it's not going to come back together. It means let go of the outcome. Let go of trying to pull it in and force it happen. Love yourself. Give that love to yourself, and give that Ace of Cups to you and that Star, and replenish yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself first, then how is someone going to be able to love you if you don't even love yourself? You have to love yourself first. So keep that in mind. Then we have, it's kind of want to come sideways, but I'll go ahead and take it upright because it's more I can tell it's more sideways. Harmony is pure love, for love is complete agreement. With this being under the Star card and the rest of this, you have to find that harmony and pure love and agreement within yourself, and come in alignment with yourself, so you can be truly in alignment with your true counterpart. Whether it's with someone you're already connected with, or not someone else in your near future, whichever will end up happening. Because again, you have free will, so it's your choice if you're going to stay or let go and move on, and seeing any red flags that needs to be addressed. And if you want harmony, agreement, and pure love in a situation, which, even though when I say pure love, there's still going to be upheavals, obviously, in relationships. That's not what I mean. But until you find all of that in yourself, that's going to be an imbalance. If you have an imbalance in yourself, there's going to be an imbalance in the relationship or connection with someone. So you have to rebalance and align yourself back. Also, I'm feeling called to work on all your chakras to balance yourself in alignment, and make sure there's not any blockages. So there might be some blockages that you need to unblock. So work on unblocking your chakras. There are books that you can look up to help you learn more about chakras, and also looking on YouTube for helping you work on your chakras there too. So just putting that out there in case you don't know that much about, or not at all about, chakras. And we have this. The reason it hurts so much to separate is because our souls are connected. So even whether someone's for you or not and meant for you, if you have a soul tie to someone in some way, it's going to hurt. So with what I was picking up here, especially with this past full moon and feeling melancholy, this only confirms that further. So yes, it may hurt to disconnect from this person and the way you felt left out in the cold, but that doesn't always mean it's meant for you. Sometimes things separate for a reason. Maybe it's because you are not connected and feeling whole within yourself on a soul level, and you need to get connected to your soul again and more on a spiritual level with yourself. So maybe there's a possibility that you've neglected your spiritual side and your soul and what it craves, and if you do that, then you're doing yourself an injustice. So be sure that you have yourself on a soul level first, because if you really want to be connected fully to someone on a soul level, you have to be connected fully on in yourself and your own soul and your spiritual side, and really have some form of a spiritual side to you. Just being in the physical and never spiritual in some way will be depriving in your soul. And if you don't nourish your soul, it will deplete, and therefore you'll feel empty. And if you feel empty, you're not going to feel fulfilled in another relationship, because that's just trying to fill a void. And if that void is in yourself, that means you need to fix that void within yourself by going inward and reflecting and really doing the inner work, the dark shadow work, and doing all of that spiritual work, because you're going to be a hot mess in a connection if you're a hot mess in yourself. So if you don't want to bring that kind of baggage over to someone else, because that's only going to cause more problems, and again, keep leaving you out in the cold. Because if you're not willing to deal with yourself, they're not going to want to deal with you either. You have to learn to take accountability and work on yourself, so that way you can see what you need to work on to be the best version of yourself. You don't want to bring all this emotional baggage in and expect that everything's going to be wonderful, because it's not. Because you have to be whole within yourself first to have this kind of love that you want. So be the love that you seek first within yourself. Truly learn to love yourself if you want true love. So true love starts within yourself by truly loving yourself first, because that's where you're going to also be able to learn to love someone else truly as well. But again, we all have free will. This is just the advice. You can do as you feel that you want to do. Just if you want what's best, that's what's needed at this time. Well, that flipped out for a reason. Life is tough, but so are you. So just remember that you are also tough. So when the tough gets tough, when life gets tough, get tougher, because that's what's going to help. But don't mean that you neglect your emotional side either, because releasing those emotions will help you, because that doesn't mean you're weak, because letting go of those emotions will actually help cleanse you. And by cleansing yourself and your soul, you'll then be replenished and feel much stronger and ready to take things on more. And then we have everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. So I'm picking up, especially with the 5 of Pentacles being clarifying that maybe there is a fear of abandonment. So you need to work on that abandonment issues, because that all that's going to do is attract more of what you don't want. If you fear abandonment, you're going to keep attracting relationships and people and scenarios of people like that, till you learn to stop fearing abandonment. Learn to be okay being by yourself, because until you learn how to be okay being by yourself, when you come into a connection, you're going to be clingy and want to hold on to something too tightly. And when you do that, you're just going to choke it to death, or it slip through your fingers. So you don't want that to happen. And you just have to, and that's also a way of making you come from a controlling place too, if you operate in that energy or that frequency. So you really need to work on yourself so you can let go of this fear of abandonment issues. So that way, coming into a new relationship or back into this situation, you're not repelling it, because this will cause you to be more clingy and want to have them always right there, because you're afraid they're going to leave. Like, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. See, people are not attracted to desperation, because that would also come off as desperate. Like, don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me. Don't do that. So if this is how you've been operating, or whoever resonates that's been operating like that, you're going to have to let that go. Release that. Go within, find out where that abandonment issue happened, or where it began. Go within, ask the right metaphysical questions. What caused me to have these abandonment issues? And if so, if this is the case, also ask, what do I need to do to fix within me to fix my abandonment issues? What is it do I need to address within myself so I can attract the love that I deserve? But first, by deservingly loving myself first. And everything will just unfold, and you'll be able to have that inner reflection, and you'll be surprised how things will unfold, and you'll have that right epiphany that will help you work and address on the things that you need to work on. So that way you'll have the love that you deserve. So you operate from a place of love and not fear, because fear is going to trap you in your mind like this. causing confusion and not knowing what to do, and all in your emotions. So you have to do the inner work with the Star and the Ace of Cups within yourself, and to love yourself as much as you want a soulmate to love you. So love yourself first and work on why you have this abandonment issues, so you can fix this within yourself, so you feel whole within yourself and being okay and at peace being by yourself. Because until you can be okay being by yourself, you're not going to be able to have the kind of love you really want or deserve. You're going to attract people that abandon you, because that's God or the universe's way of trying to show you you need to work on this through other people. What people reflect towards you, a lot of times it can be projection, yes, but sometimes it's a reflection, like a mirror mechanism, to show you what you need to work on. So what you see coming off that person is possibly a reflection of what you need to work on yourself. So them making you feel left out in the cold and feeling abandoned is an address that you need to go within yourself to see, is this happening because I have a fear of abandonment, so therefore I attracted someone who will abandon me like this or make me feel abandoned? And sometimes, more times than not, it's not that they the type of person to abandon you. You're just, your fear that's in your heart space is attracting that in your life, because when you're operating from a fear of abandonment within you, you're going to then get in that emotions of behaving in a way that's going to cause you to act out in your fears. Whether it's, because a lot more times than not, this is an operation that's happening in your subconscious mind, and you're not even aware that you're operating like this. And that's the reason why it's so important to do a deep meditation and reflect and see what it is you need to see, so you can connect inward to see what it is you need to address, to see why a situation is happening. Because your soul will be like a projection, like a, like when I say projection, I mean like, how those projection films where it would put a picture on the screen and project a scene. Well, your soul is reflecting on another person as your mirror, trying to show you, hey, you need to address this problem. You're not facing it. So your subconscious is reflecting on this person and showing you, hey, this is a problem. You're not addressing it, so it will keep clashing until you work on it. So if you're constantly dealing with the same scenarios in a relationship and a pattern is there, more times than not, it's because you're not addressing something that's running in the subconscious part of your mind. And therefore, you're going to keep attracting that until you address it and analyze it and deal with it and allow yourself to feel it and process it and really work on yourself, so you can release that, so you can eliminate the fear and then bring in the love to replace it. Because perfect love casts out fear. If fear exists, then there is not perfect love, but only perfect love exists. If there is no fear, it produces a state that does not exist. So I was reading that affirmation that I have, that come out of a Course in Miracles. So just, I felt pulled as I was saying that to look at that to tell you that in this. So that being said, this is something that you need to address. So don't even worry about love right now. Love yourself. This is what's best for you and any future relationship, whether it's this person coming back with this person or not, or someone new. You have to love yourself first and fix this abandonment issues, these fears of abandonment, and do the inner work. Especially when we had clarifying it with the Five of Pentacles, and then we clarify the Five of Pentacles with the Four of Swords. That's just showing you definitely need to do the inner work, because that card can be about reflection or meditation, not just taking a rest. So really be willing to do the inner work. So with that being said, it might be advisable if you'll go ahead and get books on chakras too, if you're not familiar with that. And there are books on shadow work too, so if you get that, that can also help you. And also possibly if you can't do this by yourself, it's also a good idea to seek out a professional therapist as well that can help you. But be sure to find someone that works on analyzing, like a psychoanalyst that can actually help you work on that shadow and work from your childhood on up, because you have to reconnect to that inner child within you that will actually help cleanse you and just really get the work done. So with that being said, that is all I'm getting from the reading, and I hope this brought some kind of clarity and helped you in some way. And be sure to turn on the notification bell so you know each time I upload a new video. And like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, God bless.